In today's program, I'm honored to speak with Dr. Leslye Kornegay, the Executive Director of University Environmental Services at Duke. Her impactful work in environmental services is shaping both the university's campus and the field at large. Hello, Dr. Kornegay. Welcome to the program.
Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. How are things at Duke?
Things are great. It's a beautiful day. It's almost 70 degrees here.
Yeah. Well, by the time people watch this, it could be winter. We won't even talk about winter. We're going to talk about you and what you're doing there
Sure.
at Duke. So let's do that. And can I call you Dr. Leslye?
Yes, please.
Ah, nice and informal. Dr. Leslye, tell us about yourself, your journey, and what you do at Duke University.
So, a little bit about myself. Recently moved back to this area 9 years ago from my journey north. I wear a couple of different hats. I am the executive director here at Duke University in the facilities management department. I lead a team of 300 employees. About 28 are uh, would be considered this leadership team. We support all of the housekeeping and recycling for the academic and administrative and lab spaces on campus. However, we support all of the waste management support for the Duke enterprise, so that does include the hospital. In addition to being a executive director here at Duke, I have been a faculty member at a major college for the last 14 years, teaching in their graduate MBA program and leadership programs. I also teach at another institution, university. Same situation, entrepreneurial studies, business, that sort of thing. Um, I have my own nonprofit and consulting firm. Um, so I recently did a thing, in addition to all of that, kind of bringing it all together. Um, I wrote a book, um, Leading to Change the World. And in this book, I talk about my experiences um, navigating predominantly white institutions as a Black female, um, and what that experience has been like. I talk about my, you know, normative path, which has not been traditional, wasn't a straight line to leadership. And I talk about how my formative years um, had helped to develop my leadership. In addition to, it's not an autobiography per se or a memoir. It's more, um, I used a lot of research terminology to explain why my leadership is unique. Because in the research literature, there's not a whole lot about people like me, women leading in predominantly white institutions. So I thought that was pretty, it was a topic that I see more and more that comes up in social media or in conversations, conferences, um, things of that nature, where um, women are expressing um, concerns about challenges or obstacles that they're dealing with. And so I talk about there's examples of allyship where, I talk about how I have, while I haven't had formal mentors and sponsors, I've gone out and sought people over the years that I felt that could help me to develop my leadership or to advise me on different things. Uh, that's still lacking uh, for women. I talk about allyship in terms of, you know, your confidence circle uh, doesn't really have to be people that look just like you. And that comes from my military, being raised in the military. Um, you really should pick people based on their strengths and the skills and where the direction that you're trying to go in. Especially if there's no one in your field that looks like you. Um, I talk about imposter syndrome, um, where my verbiage for that is showing up at work feeling like you have to put on a mask because you can't be your true self, because you don't feel that your true self will be accepted in the workplace. Um, being invited to the table, but not, or being invited to the party, but not being asked to dance, so to speak. So you're, in terms of inclusion, you may be a senior leader, but while you are invited to the table, no one wants to hear your opinion about anything. Um, so, the book is full of those kinds of examples. I talk about what's worked for me, uh, institutions, having served on presidential boards around DEI, what institutions can do. Um, and that's pretty much it. Uh, I stopped the book in 2012. Doesn't mean that my story has stopped, and will probably continue. I'll pick it back up and continue at some point. But it's been out since September the 20th, and so far the feedback's been pretty good.
So, Dr. Leslye, thank you for those details. Obviously, those that read it will get a lot of value, benefit, strategies they can use for their own lives. I imagine this all comes together as part of your legacy you hope to leave behind. Can you
Yes,
talk about that? What are you doing to ensure your legacy is what you want?
yes. So I am very, education is important to me, and making sure that uh, the leaders that um, I'm responsible for are developed to be able to take on whatever they need to take on. Uh, for me, it's always been important to be in a position where I could reach back and lift others up based on potential, based on, not only what we could do for them in terms of resources, but what they're willing to do for themselves. I think, in this industry, what we're seeing is that you have to grow your own leaders. You need to put the time and be willing to develop them. And I've demonstrated that in my career here at Duke, uh, everywhere that I've been. There are leaders that are still there and they're thriving. So that would be my legacy.
Part of your legacy is you talk about your team. You said 300 workers, 28 on your leadership team. They're going to remember everything you've done for many years. But how do you organize a staff lunch with that number of people?
We do it.
You do it.
I've got a great team that I work with. Uh, they do the heavy lifting. I set the vision, and they work the plan. And we just had a very nice housekeeper appreciation, and I think it was probably one of the best ones that we've had. Um, so try to have good food, good fellowship, We always like to do games that they can participate in, and it was a fun time all around.
Wouldn't
Now,
you agree that it's sometimes these smaller things that mean a lot?
oh, definitely,
Mhm.
definitely. You
Yeah,
know, you want to do it as often as you can, um, but yes, letting employees know that you value them is important.
very true. I'd like to talk about your relationship with ISSA and what you've valued over the years. I know the ISSA Hygiene Network is something that you value. Can you talk
Mhm.
about that a bit and just tell us how you use ISSA to help you with your goals?
Sure. So we have our own warehouse operations and repair maintenance mechanics that work in my with my group, and we have used ISSA, especially the exhibits that are done at the shows to really see what's new, what's innovative that we can bring back to work smarter, not harder. And I've used it for training and development uh, for that team. Um, so I would say with Hygiena, I was one of the people, there was a book not too long ago about invisible heroes. And I was one of the people that was featured in that book.
For those watching, what would you share with them in closing what they need to do with their lives?
Mhm. So one of the things that I do talk about in the book, I mean, I don't want to give it all away, but is that it's never too late to do anything that you want to do. I didn't get my first degree until I was 38 years old. Um, and never let anyone tell you that you're not capable of doing something, right? You set that bar. And I am a living testimony of that. And again, I talk about that, what my journey has been like um, in the book. And, you know, I really hope people go out and buy it. But, if you don't, I hope that you get something out of this video.